Live from the KAKE studios, this is Good Morning Kansas.
And we're starting the day on a quiet note across KAKE land, but it'll likely finish with some boomers. We'll talk about the chance for severe weather coming up.
I am frustrated at a lack of leadership.
A Kansas native prepares to tell lawmakers that America faces the darkest winter because of its response to the coronavirus.
At this point, just this one individual, we have that person self-quarantined. We have other individuals that are self-quarantined.
A meatpacking plant attempts to stop the spread of coronavirus after clusters are found at other facilities. Well, the time now is 6 o'clock here on your Thursday morning. Happy to have you along for the ride on GMK. It is May 14th. Allison, we doing okay?
Yeah, doing great. We just heard Frank say that we're kind of starting off on a quiet note. Hasn't been that way for a few mornings, Frank.
Yeah, it is kind of nice. Roads were still a little damp on my way in, but that was just kind of left over from yesterday. Officially, no rain in our rain gauge since midnight. Here's the past 6 hours, maybe some sprinkles in the Flint Hills if those are making it to the ground. We got some clouds rolling back in. We got some low clouds in the northwest. That is in the form of fog. Now, by the end of the day, a chance for strong and severe storms. Area outlined here in yellow. Storms possible. Some of them could be severe. Large hail, high wind, the most likely threats. Tornado threat looking pretty low, and flooding becoming more of a concern as we go through tonight, into tomorrow, and then into Saturday as well. Here's a view outside as the sky's beginning to change color. 64 degrees, south wind at 10. Relatively mild compared to where we've been recently. It's 62 in Salina, 60 Dodge, low 50s, Goodland and Colby. High temperatures today, 70s and 80s. Yeah, 80s in Wichita. Not bad at all temperature-wise, though not a lot of sunshine. Clouds should really kind of dominate things for quite some time. We're going to track that severe weather threat and talk about the rain chances for Friday and Saturday coming up.
Thank you, Frank. We're tracking several developing stories this morning. The president hitting back at a top doctor as a Kansas native prepares to testify on the Hill. And a Kansas plant looks to try and stop the spread of coronavirus as cases and deaths continue to rise.
The number of coronavirus cases in the U.S. approaching 1.4 million, and the pandemic has claimed the lives of more than 84,000 Americans since February, and health officials say that number is likely lower than in actuality. Today, Hutchinson native Dr. Rick Bright, who says he was ousted as one of the top scientists searching for a coronavirus cure, is expected to offer a grim prediction to lawmakers as the battle to reopen states picks up. Inez de la Catera has the story.
In prepared testimony obtained by ABC News, Dr. Rick Bright is expected to tell lawmakers today that the country faces unprecedented illness and fatalities without additional preparation, adding, without clear planning and implementation of the steps that I and other experts have outlined, 2020 will be the darkest winter in modern history. Bright recently oversaw production of a coronavirus vaccine, but claimed he was demoted after recommending against the use of a malaria drug pushed by President Trump as a possible cure to COVID-19.
I was pressured to let politics and cronyism drive decisions over the opinions of the best scientists we have.
The Department of Health and Human Services responding it strongly disagrees with the allegations and characterizations in the complaint from Dr. Bright. Bright's testimony comes as the nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, warned lawmakers earlier this week about a possible second wave if states and schools reopen too quickly.
There is a real risk that you will trigger an outbreak that you may not be able to control.
Those comments at odds with the president.
To me, it's not an acceptable answer, especially when it comes to schools. I think they should open the schools, absolutely.
This as new CDC guidelines meant to help businesses and communities reopen are reportedly being blocked by the White House, saying they're too restrictive. In Wisconsin, the state Supreme Court now striking down the governor's stay-at-home order, finding it unlawful. In California, beaches are back open in Los Angeles County, but with restrictions. An internal White House document reportedly shows new cases spiking in Nashville and Des Moines Central City, while Kentucky reports a massive increase as of May 7th. Inez de la Catera, ABC News, Washington.
The number of cases of coronavirus in Kansas is approaching 7,500 with 164 deaths. That's up by about 350 cases from Monday, the last day that the state released their numbers. Sedgwick County saw cases spike by more than 7.5%. The health department says the spike is from a new cluster that was found at the Wichita Work Release Center. Among the latest deaths, a second Lansing Correctional Facility staff member. Lansing has one of the largest outbreaks in Kansas with nearly 700 of its 1,700 inmates testing positive. The man had worked at Lansing Prison for 20 years and was the second employee to die of coronavirus since Sunday. The first was George Robert, who died over the weekend. Brian Johnson spoke with his wife, who says that she feared for his life as soon as the virus hit that facility.
61-year-old George Bernard Robert, or Bernie, as his family called him, was dedicated to his country and loved ones.
Family meant everything to him.
First a Marine, then 36 years working in corrections. He was 4 years from retirement, with his daughter's wedding coming up next year.
That's going to be a very hard time for us. We expected him to be there, and now he's not.
He enjoyed camping with his wife and daughter, college basketball, cross-stitching, and refereeing girls volleyball.
I think I'm going to miss his corny dad jokes. I'll just miss him being here when I need him.
He beat leukemia.
Fought it 3 different times.
It's why his wife worried about COVID-19.
I knew if he got it, he probably would not survive it.
The prison gave out masks April 9th, the month he went to the hospital. They never got a proper goodbye.
I go out in stores and I see people without masks, and I just don't understand why they don't want to protect themselves.
Now they cherish the memories and his service to others.
His gentleness, he never raised his voice.
Governor Laura Kelly called Robert a Renaissance man. She said the state sends its deepest sympathy to his family.
A potential loss of health insurance as the U.S. faces unemployment numbers not seen since the Great Depression. A study by the Kaiser Family Foundation found 27 million Americans could soon be uninsured. Healthcare providers in Wichita, like Grace Med and the Guadalupe Clinic, are preparing to see a surge in uninsured patients. The executive director of the Guadalupe Clinic says that for many people, they have other needs that tend to be more important than health insurance.
People are going to have a choice. Are they going to buy food? Are they going to pay their rent? Or are they going to pay for their health insurance? And the first one that drops off when people are unemployed, don't have money, is health insurance.
Both clinics urge anyone who is facing this situation to not turn away from health care, especially those with chronic or underlying conditions.
We want to remind you free drive-up testing continues today at the WSU Metroplex from 2 to 5 p.m. If you have it, bring your insurance information, but you will not be turned away if you don't have that with you. We'll stay with KAKE News for the latest updates on the coronavirus pandemic on air and online at kake.com/virus. Well, they fought for their lives against a deadly virus. It's a reunion that you won't want to miss.
And we'll take a look outside. 6:07 right now. We're starting to get a little bit of daylight on this Thursday morning. We are happy to have you along for the ride on Good Morning Kansas.
This is Good Morning Kansas with Allison Acklin, Shane Ewing, and your KAKE First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Frank Waugh. KAKE News on your side.
Good morning, KAKE Land. We're going to start off here at the visibility. Dense fog advisory, county shaded in gray here. Quarter-mile visibility. Russell, half-mile there in Ellis County. Hayes, quarter-mile in Hill City, three-quarter in Scott City. You know the deal. Increase your following distance. Slow down. Use those low-beam headlights, and if your vehicle has them, use those fog lamps. Got a few sprinkles trying to form here in the Flint Hills. Northern Greenwood County, Chase County, maybe seeing a little bit as it rolls to the north and east. Clouds kind of rolling in early this morning. If you're out, maybe you noticed the stars. There's the low cloud cover there across northwest Kansas. Again, some of that in the form of fog. These clouds may produce a sprinkle through the early afternoon, but we're watching for showers and storms firing up this afternoon. Right now, most weather models, if they pop them up, about the earliest is 5-6 p.m. and that's what the NAM model is doing here. 5:30, some storms trying to pop up along the Kansas Turnpike, and then we'll probably see some more in that general vicinity as we head into the evening and overnight. This is all going to be along kind of a weak front here that's going to kind of act as the focal point for these thunderstorms. Now, early on when they're individual cells, they're going to present a little larger hail threat, could also produce some high wind gusts, but then as they merge into a line, You can recognize that happening right there as you head into the early morning hours. Becomes more of a high wind scenario. Back to the south and west, may see a little back building there. Maybe something strong to severe. Come early tomorrow morning, I don't think we're seeing much in the way of severe storms, but those storms could be big-time rainmakers, and that brings up our concerns of flooding. This is the zone we're watching, outlined in yellow. A little less confidence further west you get, but in the vicinity of the Kansas Turnpike, points to the southeast, looking like a pretty decent chance that we get some storms, and some of those could be severe. Large hail, high wind, those hailstones up to about 1.5 inches, so not quite to the level we were thinking that we could have seen yesterday. Luckily, those did not develop. Notice the flooding kind of moving up to the possible category here, especially in south central Kansas. Got a flood watch that goes until 7 p.m. Saturday. Includes Sedgwick County, City of Wichita, Sumner, Cowley, Butler, Greenwood, Elkin, Chautauqua County in KAKE, and then points to the south and east. Those are locations that picked up significant rain Monday, Tuesday. Some of you in Butler County and Greenwood County and Cowley County getting a big-time rain yesterday, while we only picked up a couple of tenths here in Wichita. 63 degrees. No rain since midnight. Here's your temperatures right now: 62 in Hutchinson, 64 Wichita, 62 in Salina, 60 Dodge City, low 50s Goodland, Colby, 50 in Elkhart. Your forecast for today: highs climbing this afternoon into the 70s and 80s. Warmest temperatures ahead of that front for north and south central Kansas in the low to mid 80s. A little cooler western Kansas, but man, not a bad looking day for you. Overnight tonight, that chance for showers and storms, 40s, 50s, and 60s. By sunrise. Here's your 7-day. Additional rain possibilities tomorrow and Saturday. That's why that flood watch goes right on through Saturday evening. Right now, not overly concerned with the severe weather situation on Friday, but it is something we're going to monitor. There is the possibility if things change a little bit, we may have to up the ante there when it comes to the threat level. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right now looking dry as high pressure takes control of our weather pattern, kind of smooths things out a little bit with the upper 70s to low 80s and more sunshine breaking through. Salina, Hayes, Great Bend, Russell, 72 tomorrow, 78 Saturday and Sunday. Lots of sunshine Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Garden City, Dodge City, Liberal, Elkhart, 72 tomorrow. Mid-70s on Saturday. That chance for showers and storms, but not looking overly threatening. Low to mid-80s Sunday, Monday. Upper 80s on Tuesday. Colby, Goodland, Norton Hill City, shower and storm possibilities Thursday night. That's tonight through Saturday, and then looking a little drier as we get into next week. So maybe the light at the end of the tunnel as we look for sunshine next week. Shane, Allison, I don't know about you, but I think for everybody's mental health, which is kind of on the rocks these days, some sunny days would be real nice.
For sure.
What does that feel like? I feel like I've forgotten.
Yeah, sunny
we were
day.
So spoiled.
I was so excited this morning. I looked up and I was like, oh, I see stars on my way in, and now the clouds are back.
That's right.
You know, it wasn't even sunlight, but starlight was enough.
You know, it's the little things. We need days like this to be able to appreciate those beautiful sunny days, which are still ahead.
Well said.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, hopefully we can appreciate everybody coming out to help us for Coats for a Cause. Now through May 16th, donate winter coats and warm clothing here at KAKE TV or any in-the-bag cleaners. The company is offering curbside service and home pickup as well. You can learn more about that and all of the locations by going to KAKE.com for more details. Well, she is on the front lines of the pandemic, but that doesn't mean she's forgetting about her classes. Stay with us.
In today's Missing in Kansas.
I'm hoping to help track down a South Central Kansas runaway teenager. This is Tyler Armour. She is 14 years old and was reported missing since April 26th in Wichita. She is 5'4", 110 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. It appears her ears are pierced. Now, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children says that she may use a fake birth date of September 13th, 2005, though she was born 10 days before then. Anyone with information on the case should go ahead and call Wichita Police or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 800-THE-LOST. Now, I also have an update on a missing teen who ran away this past month over in East Kansas. We're told that Kirsten Dawn Fields, she is safe, and we really appreciate you all sharing her story. Reporting in the studio, Annette Lawless, KAKE News on your side.
A look now at your local business headlines from the Wichita Business Journal. Sedgwick County has started spending the money it has received from the Federal CARES Act. It's committed about $1.6 million in funding for medical supplies, cleaning services, equipment for testing sites, and technology. That leaves another $98 million available to spend. Now, county commissioners want input on how to spend the rest of that funding, and they have hired a consulting firm for $150,000 to help.
The Kansas Health Foundation is giving out $2 million in coronavirus grants. It'll do it $25,000 at a time. The foundation announced yesterday the 91 recipients of more than $2 million in support. The groups include the American Cancer Society and the Red Cross. Those in South Central Kansas include the Envision Foundation, Guadalupe Clinic, ICT SOS, and the Union Rescue Mission. Read more on these stories and others at WichitaBusinessJournal.com. Well, it's a senior year they won't forget. We're going to recognize the class of 2020. Welcome back. A Kansas couple has been reunited after they both survived the coronavirus.
And now they've had a special reunion. Marleah Campbell with the story.
These are Dwight Patterson's first steps out of St. Francis Hospital in 6 weeks. After being on a ventilator in the ICU, the 63-year-old Topeka has beaten COVID-19.
Just thankful. I'm just thankful. I'm just full right now.
Waiting with open arms in a parade full of nurses and hospital staff was his wife of nearly 40 years.
Love you.
Ruth.
She's my junior high school sweetheart. We've been together since we were 12 years old.
Ruth knows exactly what it's like to fight the virus. She had just returned from a month-long hospital stay herself, fighting COVID-19 the day Dwight collapsed.
I hadn't even unpacked bags. I hadn't even really sat down too much when all this began to occur.
This could have been the last time we saw each other. She just got home and I had to turn around and go 5 minutes later.
The last time I seen him was when the ambulance was rolling him out.
That was 6 weeks ago.
My honey is back. And I can embrace him and squeeze him and hold him and knowing that he's going to be all right.
When I leave here and walk out that door, life is still changed. This thing is real. People are dying from this every day. So we need to just be thankful for the everyday things we take for granted.
The complete healing process may take longer, but we'll get through it together.
Well, they've had a rough year, but that doesn't make it any less special. KAKE's Jamie Jackson introduces us to today's KAKE class of 2020.
Hi, I'm Jamie Jackson with KAKE News. Seniors from across KAKE land, this is your moment. You've worked so hard to get to this point, and we're cheering you on. Congratulations, class of 2020. We wish you the very best. Eve Hurt, Hutchinson High School. Faith Hurt, Hutchinson High School. Anthony Woodward, Elkhart High School. Alexander Mahoney, Hutchinson High School. Madison Huber, Andover High School. Logan Howe, Hutch High. Bella Cheney, Colby High School. Allison Link, Hutchinson High School. Charlie McKay. Bethany Hollingsworth, Elkhart High School.